All right, I think we're live. Okay, everybody, so it is, it's Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. I'm broadcasting live here with student Matt Burns, and I just wanted to go over where we are with the energy technology program. So I've got a list of speaking points just to let you know that we did indeed avoid the moratorium that was being requested. In fact, I learned a little bit more about it. As everybody knows, probably by now, the University of Montana at large suffered a tremendous enrollment deficit. We used to be at 15,000 students. We're now close to 10,000 students. The university had, I think, on the order of 750 full-time employee lines for faculty, and based on the lack of enrollment, lack of tuition, the commissioner's office, so Clay Christian's office, asked our president's office, asked Royce Engstrom to start cutting where he could. Fortunately, he was able to not cut into any of the tenure lines, so my job is secure, so are all the other tenured faculty at the university. The question is, are we still going to offer the Certificate of Energy Technology? The answer is yes. Since the program's not out of moratorium, it's no longer going to reside within our department, which is Applied Computing and Engineering Technology. It's not clear whether or not the department itself is going to stay as a department on East Campus. Well, in fact, all of East Campus is going away, but we have plans to partner with pre-engineering on main campus, and that's already beginning to happen. So some of the courses that you would have seen in Energy Tech will be offered through pre-engineering, I think, which is a great solution for a lot of students that want to perhaps get a four-year degree. There you go. So, and we're also, it sounds like Energy Tech is going to go under the building trades. So carpentry was having some enrollment issues. They're sort of rebranding themselves as sustainable building, and the majority of the courses we teach within Energy Tech fall within sustainable building anyway. So it's so we're sort of, in a lot of ways, Energy Tech is working its way back into the woodwork of the university, both through pre-engineering and through West Campus. So it's not going away, it's just sort of being repackaged a little bit.
Divvying it up.
Right.
Strengthening other departments.
Exactly. So one example is in our GY 235, building energy efficiency is being cross-listed with John Freer's green building energy courses. Okay, so we'll still offer the 30-credit certificate, and we'll still offer the 60-credit associate's degree. So they're alive. I'm not going to say they're completely well, but they're alive.
Storage and distribution class is going to be offered.
Yeah, energy storage and distribution 214. We're going to offer that through the pre-engineering curriculum too in the spring.
So for some of these extra courses for, say, my associates and my associate certificate, I would be signing up on the main campus.
That's yet to be worked out. That's yet to be worked out. I think the best thing for us to do is still offer the courses on the Missoula College campus, so you can still remain a Missoula College student with the reduced tuition. And I believe that reduced tuition is still going to remain intact. So you want to take geothermal or alternative fuels in the fall. I think the best way to do that is just to sign up for credits of 291, which is, either 290, 291, or 292. So with 290, it's undergraduate research. 291 is special topics, and 292 is independent study. So those are kind of your three options, and then we can offer whatever Moodle shell within those we need to. So that's how we're solving that problem.
Since we're on the topic of classes, the faculty behind those classes.
Sure. Yeah. Right. So getting back to the faculty, the easiest cuts to make at a university are typically people who are not under contract and not under extended contract, and those happen to be adjunct instructors. Energy Tech, I think we have 6 to 8 adjuncts at any given time. So Unfortunately, we've lost the majority of the adjuncts just because of cuts. That's kind of where the trims end up happening. And so,
How many tenure faculty do we have in our department?
well, in energy technology, there's only one tenure track faculty, and that's me. That said, I also have a letter from President Ingstrom from a few years ago saying that if we get this NSF grant, which we have right now, we're halfway through a 3-year, $750,000 National Science Foundation grant, that he would add another tenure line in energy technology. And so I still need to go and negotiate that with him.
Tenure guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And Main Hall. So that's something I'll do over the summer.
What? Oh, over the summer.
Yeah.
So possibly spring, possibly fall of 2017, we may be able to see this.
Another
new
faculty member. Yeah,
come in.
that's the
Are you
idea.
able to add adjuncts? And
Well,
let's
that-
say see what the dust settles.
You know, that might be part of it. That might be part of it, that we need to, rather than adding a new tenure line, just say we'll continue to support adjuncts. So at that kind of level, it's
Because I
negotiable.
feel, Wally Higgins is an adjunct
Mhm.
and been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Tons of experience.
Mhm.
Our adjuncts are, I think, top notch.
Oh, I know.
adjuncts
Yeah,
that we
it's amazing the quality of adjuncts we have. Brian Kearns, Troy Savage, Greg
Yeah,
Guccio,
yeah. These guys are
Jonathan
amazing
Bowe.
adjuncts.
No, it's yeah. So we've got a fantastic pool of adjuncts we'd like to have back. So the catch-22 there is if I add another tenure line, then again we're sort of stuck in the same problem where somebody has to be
Understaffed.
master of all trades. Yeah, it's understaffed, but it's also we really have enjoyed having great experts. Connor Darby from around the state teaching the courses that they're best at.
Yeah.
Okay. People want to know if our graduates get jobs, and the answer is yes. They're very diverse. We've got students putting in PV. I've got students working in big wind. I've got students doing building energy efficiency, energy auditing. So the jobs are there, and they're going to continue to grow. There's a giant solar farm now slated to go in out at Colstrip. The Gordon Butte Pump Storage project is going to happen. I myself am working on a lot of biomass projects. Geothermal is only going to get bigger.
So how far is the gap from sitting in class, being in books, to being out on the field?
Right. So we're how do you fill that gap? The best way to do it is through the internship. Just right here in town, I've probably put, half dozen or students through Blue Marble Biomaterials. That's turned into jobs at Blue Marble. I put probably a dozen students through SATIC, and I was just out there the other day, and Chris Moramato, class of maybe 2012.
What is
sitting at
SATIC
the
exactly?
SATIC, I've got one of their brochures here. Throw that in that bag. SATIC has been designing high-efficiency light bulbs for several years now. So here's their logo. They're right here in town, and they are. Some of the things they build are made outside of Missoula, but the vast majority, all their plastic injection is done at Diversified. Almost everything they source is U.S., made in the United States. They also build a power conditioner that increases the power factor. Not that big a deal in Montana, but the majority of those sales are in California, where their grid regulations are much tighter and the cost of energy is much greater. They just rolled out a new insulation project, so super thin, very efficient, so you get a lot of bang for your buck, R value with this material that they're also selling. Also with SATIC, we're working on some bigger deals to do solar installations on kind of offshore. A lot of times you'll see these island nations paying a lot more for electricity than we do, because most of it's shipped in with diesel. So SATIC is another fantastic local employer. So current jobs, class availability, we covered that in terms of enrolling for classes. 298 is coming back. 290, 291, 292 are all coming back. 298 is the internship.
The internship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, the dean's office was negotiating with Main Hall, and they said, you got to cut these classes way back, and we said, well, it's impossible
How
to
much
finish
more
the degree.
How
Yeah,
much
so-
more can we take?
yeah. So we're in good shape with that.
So that's that.
We've got about 30 students in the pipeline right now. I've got a list here in front of me. This is also super important for my NSF grants. I've got a list of 15 students from the Blackfeet College that are looking to enroll this fall as well. So we're
So for our immediate future,
Yeah.
fall, spring,
Mhm.
we're talking like next semester type of deal.
Mhm.
What can we be looking at? Because obviously, adjuncts are coming later, teachers are coming later,
Mhm.
class ability is going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But as for the fall and the spring, I mean, are we kind of in an impasse here where we just kind of have to bear with it until we figure out some more strings of things?
No, I think we're in good shape. I just had NRGY 101, so Introduction to Sustainable Energy, approved as a science elective. So I think we're going to see a lot more students from the Mountain campus too enrolling in that. And I think it'll give a big boost.
So when we say the energy tech program is not the energy tech program, that's not a bad thing. That's
Oh, it
not,
is.
That's not going away.
Yeah.
We're taking something from you. It's
Mhm.
just we're diversifying it, changing a few titles, but it's core down to its core. It's the same thing that it was, just
It is.
different name.
That's right. Yeah, it's still going to be energy technology. It's just going to be it's just going to be shared between pre-engineering and the industrial technologies. So
So they're not taking a program from you. They're not kicking us to the curb and
That's correct.
giving us our walking
that's right.
papers
No,
here.
no, and I just got the good news from Dean Jakes on Wednesday. So we're in perfect shape there. So again, autumn 16. What the courses I'm going to suggest students get into again are 290, 291, and 292. And then, like I said, we
Is
can.
recycle tech going to be a thing?
Recycle Tech is still on the books, absolutely. With we've got a lot of interest from the Mountain campus with Vicki Watson's, so environmental science is really wants to partner with us on that. So we're able to offer recycling tech both through a undergraduate, so a lower level division electives, 200 level, as well as a 400 level. So yeah.
And what's the number on recycling? Do you know?
Recycling's 270.
270.
And then we're offering it through environmental studies through 491. So we can offer both of those ways. So yeah, recycling tech is still rocking. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah, and the practicum for sure. A few other fun facts. So I have been invited to be part of this Mansfield delegation. We just got back from Japan, and one of the most fun and memorable things there was having representatives from the fossil fuel industry talking, first about coal and then about fracking, and then the Japanese saying, well, doesn't Montana do renewable energy? And so all of a sudden everyone was turning to me, and I said, well, yeah, in fact we are. I mentioned Gordon Butte, some of these other wind projects that are going on, the fact that solar is growing by leaps and bounds, and talked a little bit too about woody biomass. In fact, I just had a chance today to read through the latest copy of Evergreen, and there's some really encouraging statements from Governor Bullock in here saying that, well, the first one that caught my eye is that he's nominated almost 5 million acres to go into restoration. So rather than just sitting there waiting for the fires to burn, you go out and harvest the wood ahead of time and turn it into a
Talking about
woody.
massive job growth in Montana.
Yeah, huge. Turn it into woody biomass. So
Plenty of people sitting around with chainsaws waiting for work
Yeah,
in this town.
exactly,
Venting
exactly.
projects, the biofuel, the chemistry
right,
behind it.
and so we've got a biofuel sitting right here. Another really encouraging thing is the mayor just said that he wants to move Missoula away from the landfill model, and and I also had a really good conversation with this guy by the name of Stiv, who runs. I gotta pull him up here for a second. Stiv, story of stuff. So Stiv Wilson, there he is. I had dinner with him last week, and so he's been trucking around the planet, basically tracking plastic waste, and so. And I asked him a question during his forum. I said, well, if you start banning plastics, what happens to the petroleum products that are coming out of the ground? So you sort of push it somewhere, it's going to squirt somewhere else. There's no single answer to that, but one solution that we've come up with here is a way to use the plastics as a binder in a co-firing process. And someone said, well, gosh, are you gonna go out and burn plastic? I said, what are you gonna go burn coal? Are you gonna burn what? Like, I don't foresee a future where humanity just bans fire. I know that, I've read through Amory Lovin's latest book, Reinventing Fire, and maybe we'll get there someday.
Yeah.
But for now, I don't see us banning fire.
But we can definitely make it better.
We can make it better. In fact, I was also and there's a great article. Let me pull it up. Skyber Enterprises. So I've been spending a lot of neat time with Craig Thomas. I think he's got. You click down here. Oh yeah, there we go. So if you get a chance, I'm just at Skyber.com, Craig's blog, and these are guys that have been, working in the forest for years, doing restoration, especially saving things like Teddy Roosevelt's cabins. So here we go. There's enough cleanup work to be done in western Montana to keep hundreds of Craig Thomases busy for the rest of their working lives. And I know a lot of my students, too, are, well, you've worked in fire industries? Yeah.
So I worked on Teddy Roosevelt's cabin.
There you go. So a lot of energy tech students have been boots on the ground.
What was the name of the website you're on?
I'm just on Skyber.com.
You spell that?
Ckyber.
I've never got that.
Yeah. So what we're looking to do is remove the dead trees so you don't end up with scorched land. Some people argue, gosh, we're going to just let the tree stay there and turn into soil. Well, frequently that doesn't happen. So we're hoping to work with, in fact, we are working with Nobel laureate Steve Running to use some of his data to predict where those fires are going to be, go in and get it now, and then prevent, and then we put that into a carbon credit model, so we can say to a certain degree of certainty that we've avoided forest fires. So it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Win-win. Okay, so that's some other news. So we use Steve Wilson's story, take the plastics, put it into a binder material, and now we've got this waste wood and a binder that can then become energy, electricity, alternative from fossil fuels, and then combined with carbon sequestration methods. And there's several out there. There's algae, and we're working on some of our own, which are going to be.
And that's the way to do it. If you're going to figure out how to burn this energy, figure out how to do it, responsibly.
Yeah.
Instead of type 1 coal plants.
Yeah.
Popping up all over.
Exactly. So this particular author, I think this is all from Peterson. There's a couple different authors. I haven't. Here's Peter Kolb. Is another. Let's see if I can get that up here. Peter Kolb, kind of boots on the ground conservationist here in Montana. Jim Peterson is the founder and editor of the Evergreen magazine. So these guys sort of get the big picture in terms of Montana
The face for it.
sustainability. Well, and also if you can reduce fire hazard risk, you get more tourists coming to the state, and everybody likes to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I work for a private contracting company, and we've been chomping at the bit on these thinning projects for private, for wherever, and the state really they're like, I don't know why we don't do a ton more of this stuff, because fuel reduction is huge.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why we need to rely on. So he's going off on Waxman and Pelosi. There's a couple different things. You've got, they call them the Beltway environmentalists, people that really haven't spent any time out in the Mountain West and kind of know the problems. They just think, oh, we got to preserve the forest. Okay, fine. No one's going to go cut down the cherry trees on, the mall in Washington, D.C., but they don't really understand the size and the scale of the issues.
Yeah, all logging is bad is not quite.
Right, and then another issue. I think he mentioned some of these big pulp industries. Is it international, or I don't even. International Paper, he says, and I don't get this either, because they say if you've got federal land with a lot of wood on it, international paper will say, you can't go in there and restore it, we're going to get our hands on it and pulp it eventually. But I don't see why those two things are mutually exclusive. That doesn't,
International paper.
well,
These guys are crying about us trying to.
yeah, so
maintain
somehow there's a little bit of miscommunication here, because I only see solutions here. So there's a few fun facts. We did just take ownership of. Let me pull this up too. It's kind of fun. News. More solar press release. This was from our partners, On-Site Energy. Oh, I need to get the photos up, but oh no, I think I put some photos on the blog. Let me find that. Into our blog. News and events. Yeah, there we go. So there's our new trailer. That's just sitting back out here in the parking lot. And this thing is state of the art. Inside there are three separate technologies. There's the old school inverter, micro inverter, and even this new DC to DC technology that's coming online. Yeah. Well, there's a guy in Billings gave a talk right after the one I gave last fall, who took his Billings home off grid. Disconnected from gas, disconnected from electric, disconnected from water, disconnected from sewer.
In the city limits.
In the city limits of Billings, and they are working on new standards to do DC low voltage homes.
The city's allowing him to do that is huge. I'm sure that didn't take overnight.
No, it took a long time, but talked to his neighbors. He's got the wind turbine in the front yard, the whole deal. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super cool. Get a whole community of people doing that.
Yeah, and really my vision from the start would be to have Missoula, and in fact all cities, sort of living under what I've called or Jared Diamond has called the photosynthetic ceiling for quite some time, and actually making more energy than you consume and sucking in more carbon than you produce. And I know it's possible.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Feel better?
That was a good talk.
Okay, all right.
That was some good stuff.